이토록 더 아름다운 걸 점점 불빛도 아닌 우리 때문일까.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Everythinggoes podcast. I'm Ori, your host. Today we have a very special guest, but before I introduce them, I want to remind everyone that all the revenue from this channel goes directly to the comeback. So please, if you have ad block on, turn it off. If you're watching on premium, that's fine. So keep supporting and engaging with the channel. Thank you so much. And let's talk about today's guest. I'm sure everyone knows this app by now. Recently, Army has been using the app StationHead quite a lot. So today we have a representative from StationHead called Moray. And hi.
Hi, it's awesome to be here. I feel like I know so many of you now online, and to actually be talking on camera is just fantastic.
Yeah, actually that's like kind of what motivated me to do this channel, because we always talk online, but it's not the same as actually voicing stuff. And most of Army don't have friends in real life that are Army as well. So this way we get to connect a bit more. And I'm so glad to have you here.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's awesome to be here, and you guys, that connection is definitely something we at StationHead have been trying and been working on fostering, and you guys have taken it to such an incredible level. And so to see you guys being able to connect in real time and make these unforgettable moments at scale around the world has just been so magical to us. It really means the world to all of us at the company to see what you guys have done with the product, and we do believe it's just the beginning there.
That's amazing. How many people are in the company?
So we have about 13 employees. 13 employees, mostly engineers. We're going to need to hire some more engineers because of you guys, which is a great thing.
Great problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. Yeah, you have Ryan, the CEO, and myself, I'm the COO. Him and I basically run the business. And then we have a product and engineering team. And then we have a community and go-to-market team that I'm sure you guys have DM'd or tweeted at or interacted with in some way.
Yeah. And how long have you been working?
So we founded the company. Yeah, we founded the company about 4 years ago, and our vision was really to democratize radio. We saw how all of these other platforms were democratizing different mediums, like YouTube was doing with video, or Twitter was doing with journalism, and Instagram was doing with photography. But radio and really music in general, like that experience was left behind. And not only was it left behind, it became really broken, and it was really broken for the creators, the hosts themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically impossible to host a radio show on your own. You have to go to college and get a job and work your way up the ranks, and maybe if you're lucky, you'll get a radio show. It was broken for artists who weren't getting discovered anymore, right? They were just playing the top people in the world, people that were already proven to be hits elsewhere. And it was broken for listeners who were getting fed the same thing and were kind of being blocked out. And so for us, our vision was to build a democratized radio platform where anyone can have a station around the world, or it can be about the community and about the music that you want to play and about the people that you're with. And that's really what StationHead is.
And what motivated, I'm assuming Ryan, right? He's the founder. So how did he come up with the idea? What made him want to do this? Because a lot of people can whine and say, oh, radio sucks. It's always the same songs. And it's not like it used to be in the 80s or 90s. It's only the top 40 hits. They keep playing every 15 minutes. I get the same song. So what made him actually do it?
Well, Ryan's a musician himself, and he had a really successful career. He was at Island Records and Atlantic. He's actually had hits on the radio, hits on Sirius XM. He's traveled the world. He's performed all over Europe and Asia and the United States. And he, about a few years ago, had a personal experience with radio when he saw just how broken it was for even artists like him. Even artists like him that had a career, that had connections, that had the network. He even was experiencing significant pain. And if he was going through that, he could only imagine what the rest of the artists in the world were going through as well. Not only that, not only was radio leaving artists out, but it was leaving the creator out, right? At the same time as he was experiencing this on radio, he was seeing how these other platforms like the YouTubes and Instagrams and Twitters of the world were creating these new stars, right? These new people out of nowhere, out of their garages, were just taking to these platforms. And for Ryan, he thought, why can't we do this with radio? Why can't we do this with music? Why is there no platform where your voice and your music is creating these new stars, the new Howard Sterns, the new Angie Martinez's? Because we believe that there are people all around the world that have a voice and have something to say and have a song to play and can really change the world that way. And that's what motivated Ryan to do it. It really is a personal story. And our early team is incredibly passionate. Most of us have been at the company from the beginning. We were one of the first to work in this space, and we've been the first to build this type of product. And now we're completely international, and we're starting to see it really resonate with the communities around the world. And And our vision, which is that the air belongs to you, that's our saying, that's our tagline, is really coming true. And we're starting to see these new stars emerge, right? It's not about the influencer, it's about the fan, and it's about the community, and it's about being together. And that's really what StationHead is. It's empowering people who are otherwise left out, and giving them a place to share their voice and their music and their community.
That's amazing. I think, I don't know if you noticed this yet or noticed at all, but Army has kind of done a PhD on radio and the problems with it. We had to put up with a lot of stuff over the years, from having to ask for them to play BTS back in 2017 and them saying, oh, only if you follow me, only if 1,000 people follow me, sending radio DJs gifts like cupcakes and like anything you can think of, only for them to sometimes throw it in the trash and say, yeah, I'm not doing that, or basically anything. And then from that to go into them using BTS for clout and just like posting about BTS, but not giving them the radio plays, and then talking to DJs and understanding that DJs today don't have much power at all in regards to what they're playing. They get told from above, from their bosses, like, you should play this every X minutes. And radio DJs are basically have become button pushers instead of what they used to be. And they used to be the voice of a community. And now with StationHead, it's so much fun to see them become that again. So I think your platform is amazing for allowing that to come back.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you nailed it on the head. Not only do they have no more control in radio, but it's very localized, right? It's very geographically restricted. And it's 2021. Like, this is an international world. The world is flat, and there are people who are now becoming best friends from all around the world without having met each other, but they're connecting over these common threads, over music, right? Music, which transforms how you connect with someone in seconds. And music should not be localized to one country or one state or one town. It really should be broken open. And that's one of the key things about StationHead is we work around the world, right? We've had broadcasts with over 150 countries. SiriusXM, on the other hand, has to send these multi-million satellites into space, and they can only broadcast to one country, right? So we are really the world's first global social radio, and Army has been a great example of what that can do, the power that is, and how amazing that experience can be for people all around the world.
Yeah. Before we start talking about Army and StationHead and that dynamic, I wanted to hear about working at a startup like this, like being there from the ground up, watching it come alive. It's very exhausting to work at a startup, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to be really passionate about what you're doing, and you have to believe, because oftentimes it's called a startup for a reason, but you're the first ones to do it. And you get a lot of advice and you hear a lot of people telling you things to do or what not to do. But at the end of the day, it's you, it's your coworkers, your co-founders. You are the people doing it, and no one else is. No one else in the world is doing it. And passion is what drives you to do that, because there's a lot of unknown. Even the smartest people in the world will tell you there's a lot of unknown, and there's doubt, and there's optimism, and it's up and it's down. It's just like life, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, when you find a group of people that you love working with, and you find a mission that you're so incredibly passionate about, you're able to drive through every challenge. You're able to look at challenges as learning lessons, and then apply those learning lessons into future successes. And that's really been the history of StationHead, is a group of highly passionate, highly determined, highly smart people with a dream and pursuing that dream. And that's what StationHead was born out of.
Really nice to hear. Like, as a fellow startup employee, it's the grind can really get to you. So you really have to remember that the passion is important, and that what you do is important.
Of course. I mean,
totally
we've had, I remember this being nothing. I remember having just the employees being on air on StationHead. We'd have a potential investor we knew was coming on the app, and we'd call everyone we knew to like go on air at one time to show them what the app can be. And, we're stressing, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? And so to go from something like that to seeing millions of people around the world using this product in the exact way you want it to be used is amazing. And to see that it resonates around the world in a way that's totally unique, in a way that's positive, first and foremost, it's just really, really fulfilling. And it just makes you want to keep working at it, right? It just makes you want to keep building and keep going.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me, my cousin, he used to work at a startup as well. And maybe you've heard of it. It's called Mobily. It was before Instagram. They kind of started at the same time as Instagram. And it was supposed to be for sharing videos. And it was founded in 2010. So smartphones were just starting to come out. The video quality was crap. But their vision was, if I'm going to a concert, then I'm filming everything on my little phone, and someone at home probably wants to see what I'm filming, especially like if I'm in the first rows or something. Someone probably wants to see it. And back then I told him, listen, no one wants to see a 144 pixelated video that's constantly moving and shaking of some performance. And fast forward 10 years later, I found myself watching 144 pixelated video of BTS from someone's phone that they recorded. So music really has a tendency to get people really passionate about, and really care that you don't so much care about the quality as long as you're part of that moment, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think music can create these incredible moments between people and cross-culturally and cross-demographically. And that's really been the special thing about StationHead. Not only the music, but just the audio, taking the visuals away, right? So now it's not about what you look like or what party you're at, which all these other platforms are about. It's really just about connecting over the music. And we have an infinite amount of examples of two people who on any other platform probably wouldn't connect because they don't look alike or they don't sound alike or they don't dress the same. But on StationHead, their love for the Commodores brings them together instantly brings them together. And that's the beautiful thing about music. You could have doctors and 12-year-olds connect over a song, right? It's really a special thing. And I think it's kind of been left out of the social realm for a long time. No one's quite nailed social music yet. And I think StationHead is really one of the first platforms to nail social music listening. And that's what we're just so proud of.
You should be. And I can tell you were talking about how international it is and how different people can connect with one another through music. And you have no idea how many times we've talked to radio DJs that are active, that are working, that are interviewing the biggest stars. And constantly they have told us that what works in New York doesn't work in Texas. And what works in LA doesn't work in Atlanta. And we were like, first, BTS sold out concerts in all of those places. And you want to tell me that there's a bigger difference inside the US than the US and Saudi Arabia or France or Korea, or like, it makes no sense. Like you said, the world is no longer, it's all connected. We're always seeing stuff. Globalization has its bad moments, but it also has its good moments. And having them constantly tell us that what works in New York doesn't work in Atlanta is so condescending to their own communities. It blows my mind every time they said it. And they said it
those days are over. Those days are over. There was FM, there was XM, and now there's ON, StationHead.
Yeah. Were you worried about getting blocked by Spotify and Apple Music, or maybe by radio, like for them they have connections, they have power, for them to put roadblocks in your way?
No, honestly, from the beginning, Apple Music and Spotify have been huge fans. Like, we are promoting a world of streaming, right? Our vision for this is to help everyone. That's why we built it on streaming. We wanted to get more people paying for streaming, more people engaged on those streaming sites. And at the end of the day, we are promoting their product. We're promoting Spotify. We're promoting Apple Music. We're saying, if you're going to listen to music, use one of these services. And so they've been really, really supportive. Apple just featured us in the App Store. We've been featured at WWDC. And Spotify as well has just been really supportive about us and about our mission.
That's amazing to hear, because honestly, Spotify and to some extent also Apple Music, they've kind of become the new radio, and with their top 40 playlists that sometimes people pay to get into, they've kind of become the same thing they were trying to replace. They just took their audience. So doing it through StationHead is kind of, while you're still doing traffic through Spotify and through Apple Music, people are not using their playlists. So I find it really interesting that they're so supportive. It's really nice to hear.
Yeah, they've been great partners.
That's good. Okay, so let's talk about that day that everything changed, I guess.
BTS Day. We call it BTS Day.
Yeah. That's nice. Do you know what led up to it?
So I don't want to speak for you guys, but from our perspective, I can share what we were kind of watching happen. And basically over the last 6 months, we've really been focused on cultivating hosts, everyday hosts. And one of these segments were these fan clubs we started seeing using the platform at a small level. But they were just using it every day, and they were using it in the way that we really wanted StationHead to be used, and they were showing us how powerful the super fan can be. And at the end of the day, the super fan loves music, right? And we are an app based on connecting people around music. In the same way Twitch has video games, music is our social glue. And so it makes sense that our earliest users are music fanatics. We had a big moment where Cardi B came on the platform with her fan club, Party Gang Radio. And that, without any label work, and she was a page, she just came on casually onto her fans radio. And that kind of had this aha moment for us. We were like, oh my God, we don't need the artist. This is about the fans. This is about community. This is a new world where the fans are the creators. This is their airwaves. And so that was in March. We were getting really, really excited about fan clubs, and we got a lot of press around that. And that's when we started seeing some BTS fan stations start using the platform, and a number of other fan stations. And then eventually it led to BTS chart data posting about us streaming Butter that whole week. And it hit the fever pitch on that particular day when we had over 200,000 people concurrent, more than any other social audio platform. And it was just amazing. I mean, we did not expect it. I went in that day, I had a full schedule of events, meetings planned, and the meetings all canceled. We were on an all company Zoom the entire day into the middle of the night. Next morning, 7 a.m. up, how are we doing? So yeah, for us to say, did we expect it or how did it happen? For me to say that, I'm probably wrong. We had no idea it was coming. But it was just amazing to see an extension of what we'd already been seeing happening, right? Which is these groups of people using StationHead to connect around the music they love. And then to see that happen at such a large scale was just incredible. And it's proven that as people use StationHead and promote the values that we as a company have made sure to communicate, more and more people are drawn to it. And it's BTS was the biggest example, but we've seen thousands of fan clubs since do use StationHead for album listening parties or birthday streaming events or 24-hour deep discography deep dives. It's been just amazing to see how people have taken StationHead, brought it into their communities, and then I think truly changed what it means to be a fan in 2021. What you guys are all doing with StationHead is just blowing our minds in every way.
The thing is, like, BTS chart data, that's the main station that blew up. That and another BTS station called BTS Cool FM. Both of them have been active on the platform for a while, right? BTS chart data started his channel, if I'm not mistaken, in August already. So it's kind of amazing to see it blow up now. And I was wondering if you know the reason why, out of all he had that channel for 8 months, 9 months, if you know why at that moment it blew up.
With anything that goes that viral, no one knows, right? It's a perfect just symphony of different events that happen at once. I know we've worked really, really hard on the product over the last 6 months. We released new discovery, we released new hosting and listening, we released a web platform, an Android platform. So we did a lot of things on the product that enabled us to go viral. I think one of the key things that we saw was we need to be agnostic. We need to be accessible from everywhere and every device. And so getting the Android and web platform out was huge in terms of enabling people to go viral. And then releasing our new hosting system, which was much more clear for both the host and the listener, that also reduced the stress that we had to do to onboard new hosts. Now it's very easy for hosts to onboard themselves. And so this combination of these product features, and then I think different micro events of fans using it, using StationHead, driving press, led to, and then on the BTS side of things, coincided with what was a big week for you guys around Butter being released. And I think there were some other things happening behind the scenes that I can't really speak to, but on our side of things, a combination of the product features and just people promoting StationHead and talking about our vision and talking about their experiences that they've had.
Yeah, I think for us, from our side, we've always been BTS fans, army, they're first about the music. Like, yes, BTS are good looking, yes, they dance amazing, yes, the performances are fantastic, but it first and foremost about the music. And we've always said that. I myself have done a poll where out of almost 10,000 people, 70% said it's the music. The rest said it's their personality, with only like 5% said other things. So it's really important for us, their music, and we really appreciate, we dissect lyrics, we really get into it. And when Butter came out, we really put an effort into making sure that BTS get the notice that we feel they deserve. Because more often than not, especially if the song is not in English but is in Korean, it's kind of looked over, no one really pays attention. Even if they get a #1, no one really appreciates it. They get zero radio support. For example, before Butter, their last #1 was Life Goes On. It came out in November. it was in Korean and it got 0 radio play. 0. So, and before that they had Dynamite, so no one can say that they weren't already big, right? They were selling out stadiums, they were already really big, already had 2 number ones on the Billboard Hot 100, and yet no one played them on radio, which is insane. So we really make an effort to make sure that BTS get that recognition and know that we appreciate their music. So we don't go around buying merch or buying sweater. Obviously we do that as well. Obviously we do that as well. But first we want them to know that we appreciate their music. And so when Butter came out, we really pushed hard on all platforms. We bought it, we streamed it on YouTube, on Spotify, on every platform we could. And when the Spotify numbers came out, they were filtered to such an extent that it's really taken us back. Like BTS on that first day had 20.9 million streams for Butter, and 10 million of those were filtered out. That's more than most artists get in general. Like the person who ended up getting the #1 song on Spotify that day had only 11 million, and that's not only, that's a lot, when they had 11 million streams. So that means that 10 million is almost the same as to get to #1. They just deleted so many streams, and almost exclusively from the US, which applies for the Billboard charts. And we were really shaken by it, because obviously there's always filtered streams, we know it, and BTS have always been, their streams have always been filtered out excessively, but never to this extent. And we really were afraid also that we won't get that #1, but also that this will keep happening. And so we were looking for ways to get around it. And that's where your app came in, because doing it through StationHead, it's through a third party and it's all premium accounts, right? So we really put our faith that since it's through a third party, Spotify won't be able to filter those out. And that way we'll be able to keep the streams as intact as possible. And so on that day, there was a lot of anger. But then, like always with ARMY, this happens all the time. Like every time there's something, YouTube deletes millions of views, or we voted for something millions of times, and yet BTS somehow didn't win. And so there's always something, and we always end up rising above it by buying their music, by streaming it, by supporting them as artists. And so when BTS charted that day, said, come on guys, I'm doing a streaming party through StationHead. It most likely won't be streamed out, it won't be filtered out. Come join. We were so angry, and we so badly wanted to support the music that we were there for it. And that's how that day sort of came to be from our end.
Oh, amazing.
A lot of angry streaming.
Well, we only got positivity from our end, so.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing, because it's a community. The moment it started, people were like, oh, this song, I can't wait to hear it. Oh, I love this one. Oh, I haven't heard this in a while. And people started talking and sharing favorite lyrics and like screaming on the TL about favorite songs and getting more hyped and more positive and more. That's the thing. It completely turned it around from this negative, infuriating moment to this happy, joyful coming together for music.
That's amazing to hear, and I felt it from our end. We really felt like there was a magic moment that I think will go down in history. A group of people around the world coming together and sharing just like this incredible moment around the music they love, doing it themselves, taking the power back, and doing it with each other. It was amazing. It was really amazing for us to experience that.
I'm so happy. And you've seen it's so great to see that thanks to it, more and more people are using the platform, more radio stations are opening up, seeing it get bigger as a result of the hype around that one day. It's it's amazing.
Yeah, it's been amazing. And it's a lot of these hosts, BTS Chart Data, BTS Cool, a number of other hosts for other artists, they come for this streaming party, but now they're turning into these almost like influencers on the platform, and they're turning into these creators, these radio creators. And to see the different creative ways they're now using StationHead, whether it's discography deep dives or anniversaries or request hour, they're turning into real radio DJs. And that's the modern radio DJ, and that was the vision. And to see this actually happen, where like people who never thought they had a voice or never thought that they would be on the radio, to be being those creators now, being those hosts, being the ones on the airwaves, doing it together for a community that they love, that they're a part of. We couldn't be happier. We couldn't be happier, and we couldn't thank Army enough for really showing the world the power of what the new airwaves can be.
During that day, how is like the vibe at the office work like?
It's fun. I mean, it's fun. It's intense because more people than ever by far on our platform. And, you know, we've so everyone is just all hands on deck. You know, we've been building the product to scale for moments like these, and everyone is all hands on deck, 24/7. Just like it was what I imagined being in Houston for space travel is. You're just like, Houston, check this, check that. It was just full focus, mission driven. No one lost their cool. And we got it done. We got the job done. You guys had a great stream and you didn't crash. And the love on social media was insanity. I had like 20 followers, like our investors and my like coworkers, and I tweeted like a thank you, and I got like 1,000 followers from the Army, and people were sending us pancakes and drinks, and overwhelming. You guys gave us tens of thousands of 5-star reviews. Our Twitter account gained 40,000 followers. We're verified now. I mean, it was a day I will never ever forget. It was amazing, and the best part was being able to go to sleep at night with a huge smile on my face that we as a company, StationHead, did it. We were ready for the moment, and we provided you guys with the experience that you wanted. And on the other side, that this whole world of people had this incredible, unique experience on the platform that we've put our love and hearts and souls into. And for you to do the same and both walk away really happy, it was just a dream come true for me.
It's so nice to hear that. I'm so glad that you had that moment. What I want to add.
The great part was the next morning when you started doing it again. We're like, okay, cancel these meetings too. And then it was just all week. And then I remember BTS Chart Data did one that started at 3 a.m. our time. And so I went to bed at like 11 p.m. and woke up 2:55 a.m. It was me, Dan, our head of engineering, Juan, our backend engineer, and a few others on the team, just making sure that everything was running smoothly at 3 a.m. for like an hour and then back to bed.
I'm very impressed with your stream server's capabilities.
Thank you. Well, we are a very determined group of people, and we are committed to the cause 24/7. So thanks for the challenge of a lifetime.
Yeah, Army, regarding the time zones, Army sort of have their times set to Korea. So it kind of always happens at very weird hours, especially for people in the US.
Well, I'm just happy that the first one was at 11 a.m., not 3 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was probably, midnight in Korea. That's right. That's like our go-to time for starting stuff up.
That works for us.
Yeah.
Well, if it keeps getting crazier and crazier, we're gonna have to have some engineers in Seoul. And if anyone's listening to this that's an engineer, we are hiring engineers, web engineers, front end, back end, you name it, we are hiring.
Awesome. I'll put like the details at the bottom.
Click the link below.
Click the link.
This is my first YouTube video, so I'm just getting used to it.
This day caused you like to change and reevaluate the goals of the company. What do you want to achieve? Maybe set new milestones.
Long-term view is the same. The long-term vision is the same, and democratize airwaves for all. This honestly was an extension of that view and just that vision and an acceleration of it. In the short term, it has definitely changed some hiring processes and prioritizations around what we need, the new people that we need on the team to build the product fast enough and get everything we want. You know, top of our list is Android hosting and web hosting. We know that's big in demand. Apple Music on web and Android. These are things that we want to build really, really quickly, and we are working on now. And just getting more muscle in to develop the software for everyone is a top priority for us. And from a marketing standpoint, you know, our community is now millions of people around the world. And so we went from really focusing on acquisition to now, how do we cultivate these communities that now exist on the platform? We have all these evangelists, all these ambassadors, all these people using StationHead. What can we do as a company to create real community, engage, work with you, and build this amazing platform together? So that's really new to us. We've always worked really closely with our users, but now it's just at such a different scale that it is, because it's a new thing that we're putting our heads together to really try and figure out how can we best bring you all in. And so I would say the two things are really hiring more engineers and community engagement and community development.
Amazing. Do you think that, well, one of the big pluses of StationHead is that with all other platforms, YouTube, Twitch, any other, there's always the issue of copyrighted music. But because you work with Spotify, with Apple Music, maybe with other platforms in the future as well, then that issue is not an issue anymore. So when people do podcasts and stuff, they can use music in a legal way without any issues, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That was our big innovation, is that we enable people to play music without having to worry about paying the extra costs or the music licensing restrictions that are associated with it. And so what that has done is just completely enabled this new form of creation and this new medium. And the music is really the special sauce. You know, the voice is what brings people together in the social community around the music. But the music adds this bridge between people. It gives the host a sense of confidence, right? The host who maybe never would have a podcast but knows everything about a song can now talk about this song without having to worry about, oh, what am I saying? Am I saying the right thing or the wrong thing? And music really just enables this really pure community that's on StationHead. And I think if you jump into any of these stations right now, you'll find that you'll get welcomed into the station, and you'll feel a true sense of community that really doesn't exist out there on the internet.
Yeah, I really like, even for this channel, well, on Twitch and here we did an episode where we talked about BTS's lyrics, and I so badly wanted to play the music, but because it's such an issue of copyright, and sometimes even if it is allowed, then in certain countries they won't allow it and block it, and it's just so frustrating. And now that there's a legal way that still helps the artist, that's amazing. I think it's really revolutionary in that way.
Thank you. Yeah, and that was the goal. We wanted to build an airwaves that benefited the whole system, and particularly benefited the artists. And that's why every listener on a station counts as a paid stream. And so for an artist, if your music is getting streamed on StationHead, you're getting money into your pocket. You're getting influenced on the charts, right? It all really matters. And so that's what's beautiful about the system we built. It serves everyone: the host, the listener, the artist, the labels, the management. And that's what we believe this new airwaves can be, one that benefits everybody.
So you're not planning on doing it for non-paid streams?
Yeah, we definitely want to figure out a way to incorporate music for people who can't afford to pay for streaming or who just don't pay for streaming. That's something that we're figuring out now. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that everything is benefiting the artist.
Yeah, Army is all about benefiting the artist. I wanted to ask, right now you're working with Apple Music and Spotify. Is there a chance for SoundCloud to also be in the mix?
Yeah, SoundCloud, Amazon, Deezer, YouTube. We've had conversations with all of these platforms, and the vision is to be completely agnostic across every streaming service around the world. We really do want to be the airwaves for all, and it's just a matter of prioritization.
Let's say you do a combination, like a deal with SoundCloud. Do you think that in one playlist you'll be able to play both SoundCloud and Spotify?
Yeah, that's the goal. The way we have the architecture set up now is that if you're a Spotify user and you play Butter, then both Apple Music and Spotify users will hear the song at the same time. And so to have that communal experience, that shared experience, we are going to want to make sure that we're doing the backlinking across any service we bring on, whether it's SoundCloud, Spotify, or Amazon, or Deezer.
Because listen, if we have the ability to play both Spotify or in the Apple Music and SoundCloud in the same playlist at the same radio show, that would be amazing and every Army's dream. I'm telling you now, because I don't know if you noticed, but BTS, they release a lot of songs for free, and they release them through SoundCloud, and so they don't appear on any other platform. You can't find them on Spotify in a legal way. There are people that uploaded it, but BTS don't get the money for it, so hardly anyone uses it. But there are a few songs. There's about 60 songs, I would say, off the top of my head, maybe even more songs that we don't have the ability to play on a day-to-day basis because they aren't on paid platforms. They aren't on Spotify. They aren't on Apple Music. They are only on SoundCloud because they are a gift from BTS to Army.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so it's very nice, but we want to be able to hear those songs and to play them on a regular basis because most of us use Apple Music or Spotify or both. So the fact that the songs aren't there is very frustrating. And they're really good. They're amazing. And a lot of them are also songs that the band members did as a side project. Like their company has a deal that there are songs that are under BTS, but if you want to create your own song or put out an album, you can do it. The company will support it, will help you if you choose to ask for help, but it's all on you. And all those songs, all that hard work that takes years because they do it by themselves. So it usually takes them about 3 years time to work on an album like that.
Wow.
All that hard work is not on not on all the platforms. So sometimes we just don't have the ability to listen to it on a regular basis, and it's driving us crazy. So if you can do it, if you can combine SoundCloud and Spotify to work together, that would be like, I'm telling you, it's gonna be insane.
Okay, challenge.
I already know what will be the #1 song if you do that.
What's that?
It's called Thing. It's kind of a diss track, but a lighthearted one, not a mean one. It has a lot of very, very, very clever wordplay. It's an amazing song. It's very, what's it called? Onomatopoeic, I guess. Like the song is it's very easy to sing to. It has a great rhythm, and the word "thing" is used in different meanings throughout it, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, and we can't stream it on our normal platforms. And we've been begging Big Hit to put it on Spotify, but they won't do it.
All right, well, we will see what we can do.
Thank you. I know every army will appreciate it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the #1 song on that platform.
I believe you. Definitely believe you.
If we're speaking of BTS's music, with this surge, did you know BTS before this?
Yeah, I was familiar with BTS as a cultural phenomena. I didn't know as much as I do now, and I was familiar with what ARMY had done, but not to the. I've just been blown away about ARMY and how organized you are and how metric driven you are, and just a well-oiled machine that gets incredible world-shifting things done. You guys are an amazing organization. Seriously, just have been blown away by you. So definitely not to the level I do now, but I really, really appreciate BTS as a band, but particularly ARMY, and how incredible you are.
Thank you. I do think I can definitely see how you see it, like that it's like, so like you said, so organized, so methodical. So we have like analytics on everything and how to approach things and our way of doing things to make sure that the outcome is the best that we can achieve. But I think when speaking about metrics, it really comes from a place of we just want BTS's music to be appreciated, and we want them to know that we appreciate it. So it's great to get #1s, and it's great to see them achieve and get awards and win everything and be acknowledged as the biggest band at this moment. But it's first and foremost for them to know that we listen to their music and that we appreciate it. Everything else is bonus. It's our way of showing it, because when you're a fan of an artist, that's the only real way that you can say, I appreciate your work, by supporting it. So you buy it and you stream it and you say, I like this. That's how we communicate. So this is where it's coming from. It's not so much as we have to be #1, or it will be completely destructive if we won't. It's just that that's our way to tell them that we love what they do. And for a lot of people, BTS or getting to know BTS, getting to know their music has been a turning point for a lot of armies. We always say that you find BTS when you need them the most, and that can seem like really cringy, I think, but music has a way of really touching you. And when you hear a song that really strikes a chord in you and makes you re-examine yourself and think a bit more deeply, and really connects with you, then it's really powerful. And BTS has done that for millions of people all over the world without knowing Korean. And that's really amazing, I think. So that's mostly where our passion is coming from. So yeah, sorry.
Amazing. That's amazing. I mean, it's beauty. And we're so thankful that we built a platform that promotes just that, which is fans connecting around the music they love with the community that they love.
Yeah, it's why most of us join Twitter. Like I said, most army don't have army friends in real life. We're islands, and so through social media, we're able to connect one another. And your platform is another form of social media that allows people to connect, but it's more ingrained in music. It's specifically for music, and
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the purest forms of entertainment out there. So, like I said, I'm really
Absolutely. And music more than anything, more than television or literature, transcends cultures, transcends geographies, transcends language. BTS is the most modern and perfect example of just that. And that's what's so special about music, connecting people from around the world.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to check out their music? Speaking
Yes, I have. Dynamite was initially my favorite song, and I would listen to it every morning, back to back to back, just on my way to get coffee. I was like dancing in the street. It was so exciting. And then I got really into Butter, and then I got really into Life Goes On, and I'm still exploring.
Well, there's a lot to explore, so take your time.
I'm usually on StationHead, so it's a lot of Butter. But you guys are diversifying it up a bit.
Well, Butter is only every third song, so between that. Yeah. Well, now with all the remixes, yeah, there's a lot of Butter.
What StationHead station are you on the most?
BTS chart that I think it synchronizes best with my time zone.
Nice. What's
it's
your
like
username?
when I get off from work, kind of. So on the train, I'm able to listen to it.
Okay, great. What's your username?
Omer Rose. Like
okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
I gotta follow you.
Yay. Yeah. It's a really wonderful experience to use the app and be able to connect like this. It's so
awesome.
important. Yeah, and I highly recommend checking out BTS's music.
Yes, no, I have to do a deep dive.
Yeah, but if you do, or when you do, I am saying, like, at first everyone sticks to the music videos, but there are a lot of like BTS. Sometimes we get their B-sides to chart really high because they are so good. Like they have BTS has a storyline throughout their albums. Their albums work in trilogies, and so they really take you on a journey throughout like the trilogy. And every song is kind of like, if an album has a certain vibe or a certain thought process behind it. For example, they have the album Love Yourself Tear, which is kind of when a relationship hits a dark moment, I guess, and you realize that relationship isn't good for you. Not necessarily a romantic one. It could be with a friend, it can be with yourself. But when you realize a relationship isn't good for you anymore, and that you're changing yourself too much to fit a certain mold that other person wants you to, or that you want yourself to, instead of loving yourself and understanding yourself and accepting yourself. So that whole dark moment, all the songs in the album fit under that dark motif, but they all have a different story, a different vibe, you can even categorize them under different genres. And so they take you on this story in that specific trilogy. It's called the Love Yourself trilogy. So it starts with the happy moment when you just get into a new relationship and it's all bubbly and fun and exciting, and you think it's like this meant to be moment. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic at all. So you have that moment, and then that relationship falls apart and eats you and changes you. And from that to go to understanding that first you have to love yourself before you go and seek acceptance from other people. So going through that journey through different music. And for example, one of the songs it's not even about relationship. It's about your constant drive to be in this marathon of life and constantly running to achieve a certain goal, but realizing that sometimes you just gotta stop and take a breath of fresh air and reorganize your thoughts and not be in this maze of life. Just stop and think and regroup, and that it's okay to do that. So like their music is really very introspective, and a lot of people connect really fiercely with it as a result of that, because anyone can connect it. It doesn't. You can be from Korea, you can be from the US or Canada or Latin America or anywhere, Asia, anywhere. Europe.
That's
So,
amazing.
sorry,
That's what music is meant to do.
Yeah.
So that's really, I love hearing that.
Sorry, once Army starts talking about BTS's lyrics, we can go on forever. I'm sorry.
No, nothing to apologize about. That's awesome. I'm excited. I got to hear it.
Yeah. So that I would highly recommend. Love Yourself Tear or Love Yourself Answer, because that's like a combination of the entire story, and Map of the Soul 7. That would be my 2 big album recommendations at the moment. Though their old stuff is a lot of hip hop in it, which is really fun.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So yeah. I think that's kind of it, unless there's anything else we think we should talk about.
Great. No, that's I had an amazing time. Thanks so much for having me. Thank you, Army. We love you. Can't wait to see what we all do together next.
Yeah. It would be fun to do special days or put on projects together, I think.
Yeah, I would love that. We're talking about different ways to bring you guys in now. So anything you recommend that would help with that, whether it's Zoom calls with StationHead employees or direct communication lines, things like that. We really want to hear from you. We want to hear about your product feedback. We want to hear the features that you guys want to be built. We are reading your comments and reading your messages. We do try to get back to everybody. I believe we do. And we are building features as a direct result to what you guys have been asking for, but it's just great to have open communication as well.
I think people really need to understand that building those features and getting the app to work the same on Android as it is on iPhone, these things take time, right? It's not instant, all these changes, all these modifications, all these extra features. So please be patient, I guess.
Awesome. I will.
No, not you.
Thank you so much.
Army,
Yeah.
I'm saying you guys work hard and getting all those features that Army asks for, it takes time.
Got it. Yes, it does. But we work quick. We do work quick. We push new Android builds every few days for you guys. We hear you Android people. We are coming.
Yes, BTS are representative of Samsung. You have to be Android.
Of course. So we hired our first full-time in-house Android developer the week before this all happened. So Army just completely blew his mind. And Long is amazing, and he's really an incredible developer. So we're gonna be releasing product even faster now.
Okay.
It was really nice to talk to you, Omar. Thank you so much for having me on, and it's awesome to meet you. And let's keep emailing and stay in touch. And if you have any ideas or questions, you know where to reach me. Thanks again. This was really fun.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope we'll see each other again. I'm reminding you that this channel also has a live stream called Curious About Army, where we can share our experiences and talk about how we got to be Army, what BTS mean to us, and whatever news comes out that day, because there's always news. So thank you all for listening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.